All right.
Mac, you got to like the stability the new teams bring. Would you just comment on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think by far those were the four best, and so excited that they're coming into the league, and I think it provides stability, certainty. Thought it was really important as we go through this season. Every broadcast that a Big 12 team is involved in, that we're talking about the future and the stability and the strength of the new conference moving forward.
What were those meetings like? You were on that committee and just kind of going through that process.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably initially for all of us it was a kick in the gut, and so there was that process, trying to just get through that and get our legs underneath us, and then we went into that phase of realizing, hey, we've got a special group of 8 teams. We really do, that are going to go and compete with anybody in the country. And then now, how do we fortify that? What are those pieces that come in and make us even better, nationally relevant as we move forward, from the time those schools enter and beyond. And so those meetings were positive. A lot of detail, a lot of vetting as we went through it. Great leadership by Commissioner Bowlesby.
Is it like a church committee where if 3 years from now y'all are doing all this again, looking at teams again, are you out of the running for that committee?
Possibly. I was probably almost out of the running for the committee anyway. So,
Mac, after the initial news broke of Texas and OU, how long do you think it was for the remaining 8 to kind of settle in and realize that we can make a go of this?
Yeah, Kevin, I don't know that I have a specific memory timeline, but I think it took probably, speaking on behalf of at least the 7 other athletic directors, I think it was probably a 2-week process of us just trying to again process everything and come to the realization that hey, we're really, really strong together, and let's figure out how we become stronger and we move forward.
Mac, what stood out about these 4 that the Big 12 is admitting?
Yeah, I think there were several filters, so to speak, that we looked at. Obviously, everybody talks about TV and media money, and we know that football drives certainly a large percent of it, 80%, 85% of that. So you looked at TV market. Now, TV market for me speaks to potential. Looked at reality TV audience, who's actually watching their games, and really favorable for the 4 of them. Talked about football relevancy, how important that was, and if you look at those 4 institutions, they have won in football over time, multiple head coaches. So for me, at least personally, that speaks to commitment from the institution. It speaks to resources, and it probably speaks a little bit to location, access to talent. And so those 3, men's basketball was really an important part of the conversation as well. I think Big 12 basketball is the best in the country, and I think adding these 4 only helps it and elevates it.
As far as recruiting goes, obviously this is huge to have those 4 more schools, and now the future of the Big 12, there's no question. So how exciting is that to see that you guys can continue to build successful athletic programs and start recruiting? Yeah, no, recruiting's a big piece of it. You think about our footprint. We expanded our footprint. That's a big part of it, to get into Florida, to get into the state of Ohio. I'll call it the Rockies rather than Utah, but to get into that area, I think that's big and huge. And for our coaches, just the fact that we have stability, we have certainty, and there's no doubt in any of our minds that the Big 12 will continue to have national relevancy.
Do you see the time frame speeding up instead of playing a couple of years with teams that aren't going to be in the conference and waiting to see teams come in?
Yeah, I think probably Commissioner Bowlesby could answer that better than me. But I think 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, it's a long time. I'm not going to bet or to guess, but right now, expectation is we'll have, as soon as they enter into the league, the 4 new schools will compete with 14 up through spring of 2025.
Mac, what have you heard from your coaches about this move?
Excited. Yeah, met with our coaches first thing yesterday morning, and they were fired up. They were excited. I think most of them have tweeted out or have sent text messages to their counterparts at those 4 institutions, and so they were fired up. They thought it was a big day for the Big 12.
Mac, how did the conversation about whether or not to add another Texas school kind of play out among you and the other athletic directors?
I think we were just really focused on who are the 4 best, and one of those happened to be Houston. And you think about the state of Texas now, really special, led the country with 5 Power 5s, and now we have 6. So I think it's great for the state of Texas.